I'm Josh Anderson with the Indata Project at Easter Seals Crossroads in Indiana. And here's a tech tip caught from our trip to ATIA in 2026.
Hey, my name is Veronica Quinn, and I'm here with Touchable, a tactile engineering brand. It's a multiple line braille display that can do um, text as graphics in real time. You do not need to take your hands off of the tablet, which is called the Cadence Tactile Tablet, in order for it to refresh, which is really important when you're looking at live type of events, such as the total solar eclipse that happened 2 years ago. We have multiple games on things, which I'm just starting up now. A game is called table tennis. You can set up for 1 or 2 or 4 players, and it just shows how something moving can go across. And you can play this with sighted and non-sighted kids together. So it's really good for expanded core curriculum. It touches on a lot of expanded core curriculum. It has no way to store any type of data, so the device is used with your computer, your phone, your tablet, and you're typing into whatever that device is and saving on that device. It is a total modular device. It has what we call a true braille free feel, as well as true braille spacing, which is different than any other multiple line braille display out there. For those viewers and listeners who use braille on an everyday basis and have read braille in textbooks and in pleasure books, the braille on this tablet feels exactly like that type of braille, which is life-changing. This display allows any person who is blind to knock down any barriers and be successful in whatever they want to be in, whether it's education, any job, from aerospace to customer service, to teaching, to cybersecurity. You name the position, this tablet allows you to be competitive with sighted colleagues as well as sighted students. The MSRP ranges from $5,700 all the way up to $22,500, and it comes in 3 separate formats. One is called the workstation, which is 4 devices put together. The other setup is called the Pro, which is 2 of the Cadence devices put together, and then there is the Pocket, which is 1 device. On each device, so the Pocket has 4 lines of braille, 12 cells on each line, so it's a 48 cell display for the Pocket. When you go up to the Pro, it's 96, and then you would double that amount for the workstation, and that's how many cells you would have. You can do graphics and braille on the same tablet at the same time, even if you just have one, otherwise known as the Pocket. You can learn how to read your braille if you're a new braille reader or learner, due to the fact that we can put a raised line print letter on there, a corresponding braille letter, and so you can learn your braille letters, and vice versa. If you wanted to learn print, you could learn that as well the same way, just in reverse, by looking at the braille letter and then looking at the print letter. We've been involved with the Indianapolis 500 and had a live event with them where you could see individual drivers and cars and what was going on with those individual drivers and cars and their stats and everything. And we're looking forward to collaborating with other sports situations as far as NFL, hockey, baseball in the future, to provide live event experiences with the Cadence. Cool. Okay. So right now this setup is in our workstation format. You're going to see 4 Cadence tablets put together. They slide together kind of like the idea of a Nintendo Switch, for those who have seen a Nintendo Switch. In front of me, looking straight down on the left-handed side, is a directional panel with a left, right, up and down arrow buttons with a center enter button. And there are 4 what we call line selector buttons going down next to that. That is mirrored above it, as well as on the opposite side. In front of me, as well as also mirrored on the opposite side, is a total Perkins keyboard. So you can do total data entry with the Perkins keyboard. In front of the device, underneath where the Perkins keyboard is laid out, is a set of rectangular and square buttons. The two rectangular buttons act as your enter and shift key as if you would have them on a computer, and your square button acts as your control button. I'm now going to take them apart and move one away to show what the Pro looks like. So now there are two together, which we call the Pro. You still have the Perkins keyboard, and you have a mirror image on either side with those selector switches as well as the directional pad. And now we will show what we call the Pocket, which is one device. So now you are down to 4 lines of braille or 48 cells. You can type on this using one-handed mode, but what this allows you to do is to be mobile with braille. So you can go to your doctor's office and view HIPAA, compliant documentation in privacy without having somebody to read it to you, and without having to have your information shared with public that you don't know who's listening, or to go shopping, or whatever you want to have braille on you with your tablet or your phone, and it simply fits in the pocket. One of these devices as a Pocket is the same weight and approximately the same size of an iPhone.
Well, that's your tech tip for today. I want to say thank you to the Indiana Telephone Relay Access Corporation for sponsoring our captions today. My name is Brian Norton with the InData Project at Easter Seals Crossroads in Indiana.